All right, please give this channel a chance by liking and subbing, and please consider channel memberships. I'm going to start doing stuff for the higher tiers. I know I keep promising, guys, but I will have a little bit of time off soon, so I should finally get to it. I'm going to try to diversify it by giving a little bit to all sides of the fandoms, because some people come in for the Game of Thrones, Dune stuff, and some people come in for the true crime. But let's get to the main thing that is on people's brains, at least recently, is Aaron's trip to the jail and the very puzzling changes that have happened to growing up in Scientology. And I usually try to hit several main things to make it worth you listening, but I'm a little torn about where to go. So I'll be real quick with this because I know you may not believe this, but this keeps coming up in the comment section of Aaron's videos. They're like, "He's in jail?" Yes, he's in jail. And they're like, "What's he in jail for?" And it's like, wow. So they've done a whole series of recent videos asking for money, pleading for people to help Uranus in jail. And his own audience is like, "He's in jail?" Yes, he's in jail. They even have thumbnails where he's in a orange outfit with bars. He's in jail. What's he in jail for? Okay, well, that's where it gets more complicated, but I'll try to keep it simple. There's really two main things that are going on here. Three, but we'll keep it simple. So one, Aaron with a bag of chalk basically assaulted someone. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's not a problem." Well, we'll see. They're going to debate that in court, but that's why he's in trouble. Then we went to the second part where it's a little bit weird. So he's in jail, technically speaking, not for the assault because he was out on bail. They did let him go, but then he went back to a Scientology building. Right, the first assault happened in the infamous flag base at the Fort Harrison. The second one happened at another Scientology building, and Aaron, for whatever reason, decided to stick his foot on the door of the building. It got slammed on him, and there you go. And they charged him with assault again because apparently he shoved or touched someone. So it's really the second thing, right? Him visiting a Scientology building the second time that put him in jail. And some of his admirers are hoping that on December 5th, the judge and the system will let Aaron go, at least for a little while, because his trials are going to come up both late December as well as early January. And he's technically facing two charges, so he'll probably have a series of trials from January to February or March. And we'll see what happens. I expect he will be found guilty, like by a large amount. So he's going to be spending a whole year in jail. So maybe he'll get a short vacation, but he's going to jail. Okay, so what is the main topic at hand? Well, exit's twofold. One is the more boring one, so let me get that out of the way because I know people just don't seem to care about Marilyn. Don't get me wrong, people like mocking her and making fun of her and laughing at her. But Marilyn faces the dilemma she's considered very boring, even by Aaron's own audience, because her videos consistently just get very, very few views. She does get a committed audience, but beyond that audience, people are like, we don't care. So she covered several different topics in one of her recent videos for Aaron's channel. Again, we'll put aside if that's legal or not, about if Christianity and Scientology can mix, and got into these really bizarre, pretty problematic tangents, sort of minimizing a lot of the scandals the Catholic Church has had with underage victims. I don't know why she went on that tangent. I'm not even going to focus on that. I'm more puzzled with her incredible lack of knowledge with religion and cults, even though she considers herself a cult expert. So she was going back and forth on what exactly Scientology is and whether to label it a cult or religion or not. And she finally settled on cult, really evils, but Christianity, Islam, so on and so forth, are not cults. Even though they are cults, they're clearly cults. They have cult leaders. So I'm not sure what she means by that. She was also very, very confused about what religion is because she's saying she's agnostic. And real quick, if you take theology seriously, agnostic means there's not enough evidence for either side. So you don't believe in God, but you also don't affirm atheism, right? You don't know if there is a God. You don't know if there's not a God. So you're totally even. There's either too much evidence on both sides or too little evidence. So there's not enough. So you're saying, I'm going to withhold judgment. And that is it. That is your stance as an agnostic. But Marilyn has said, I believe there is something out there. Well, then you're not agnostic. You're a theist. You may be a weak theist, but you're a theist. So, that is just Marilyn's problem. She just doesn't know what the hell she's saying. Now, I've made a lot of fun of Nora for also not knowing what she's saying. But good or bad, Nora was in Scientology for at least a little bit. Grew up in a Scientology household and does have some knowledge here. It's not that good, but there's something there. Marilyn also has knowledge of cults, but she's not in a Scientology cult. So this is her big dilemma of always trying to be with these people, sharing cult experiences, but they didn't really grow up together. They don't know one another. So it just feels like someone really desperately trying to cling into a group that she's not a part of, and God only knows if they really like her. It's just very bizarre, very bizarre. But now let's turn to Aaronis, the actual head cult leader, and I guess the main guy running this circus show. So some people are speculating online that Aaron broke the law or broke the rules by trying to have these phone conversations with, you guessed it, Marilyn from jail, and that he was basically not doing what he should have been doing. And recently he's just gone radio silent. I'm going to shock people. I'm going to defend Aaron slightly here. For one thing, I don't think factually that makes sense because I've seen other places where convicts do speak. People have then been convicted. They have phone conversations and these things are uploaded online and people do seem to be able to monetize it. So I don't think it's that criminals cannot speak. I guess the distinction here is, can you live stream with a criminal? It seems like you can go to the prison, have a conversation, then upload the conversation. But it's, can you do it live? Hmm. Again, I rarely do any live streaming. I don't think I've technically done any. I think I only did once, maybe. I don't honestly remember. I don't think I have ever done it, but I honestly don't know. So I'm just not into the live streaming too much. So that's a whole other field for me. But hey, become a channel member and you may get some bonuses there. Just going to give some hints. So I don't know enough about the live streaming technicalities. There are several different rules with live streaming that YouTube does impose. So it could be they weren't violating necessarily YouTube rules, but they were violating the YouTube rules vis-a-vis the jail he's in, right? It gets very complicated that YouTube itself is not the problem, but the jail is like, no, you can't do that. But I would guesstimate that's not what happened. It's probably that Aaron's lawyers, his legal team, has spoken to him and just told him, you need to just shut up. Stop doing this. You're looking like a jackass. You're flouting what the judge is telling you. We're trying to cut down your sentence because you are guilty, right? So they're trying to explain to his, frankly, dinosaur brain, because he's a moron, right? Aaron is not stupid. He is very clever in different areas, but he just doesn't know a lot about the law. And he often pretends to. That's one reason I stopped becoming a fan. Like, he would just say things that were flatly untrue, right? And again, I understand what Aaron was trying to do. He kept acting like he really knew the law. And it's like, clearly, he did not. He did not. But he just kept babbling just to, right, put out more videos and make more money. It's like, well, it's pointless because these commentaries don't mean anything. So I'm going to stop watching. And he just persistently kept lying. And these were just very simple lies. He just kept doing it over and over again. Now, to be fair, he did correct himself a lot of times, but it's kind of like, well, why are you doing this? And it just seems he just has a mentality that you cannot talk to him when he's, quote, focused or in his zone. He insists he knows what he's talking about. And then later at the end of the video, say, okay, I kind of didn't know what I'm talking about, but I don't care. And then he'll sign off. So I'm guessing his lawyers have spoken with him and have said, this is not helping you. You need to shut up, right? If you want to get out December 5th, just be quiet for a while. But knowing Aaronis, even if he does get out of December 5th, he's going to do something or say something again. And the judge is going to get real angry. He's going to go right back to prison. He's just not a guy who listens to orders. Just clearly not a person who likes being told what to do. He insists on being the head dog, and he will not take no for an answer. And by the way, I don't think the lawyers are even technically doing him a favor. I think because, guys, you can do this. You can sue your lawyer. If your lawyer does not do a competent job, you can sue him. You can sue her, right? You can do that. So I'm guessing the law team is just like, well, this guy's an idiot. He's a mess. We're going to lose. We're going to lose badly. However, we also want to foreclose any possibility of a lawsuit because Aaron does. He does have the resources. So it's like, okay, you know what? We're going to go through every little step just to make sure in the future, if possibly he sues us, they're like, no, 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 no. we told him explicitly, we told him in writing repeatedly, stop doing this. This is lessening your chance of getting released. We're saying this over and over again so you understand this is your choice. If you want to stay in jail and get new charges and stay in jail for 27 years or whatever, that is your choice. But as your legal representation, we are obligated to tell you this is not a wise decision. So I think Aaron got it through his thick skull because he's stupid and refuses to listen to people that, okay, this is not helping. I'm going to stop for now. But given that Aaron just has a problem with his impulses and cannot help being a bully and terrorize people, I'm guessing the radio silence will not last. But I'm guessing he did listen to his lawyers a little bit. Is this going to pull back? But, his mad clown monkeys are not getting the message. And even if the lawyers have spoken to them, they don't care. Hence Marilyn's ignorant commentaries. So there we go. How long is YouTube going to tolerate this? I don't know. I don't think they can legally operate the channel in his absence, but they're going to keep going as long as they can. So it's quite a mess. And it's not in my self interest to say this because if the channel shuts down, it'll be hard for me. But good or bad, he has a big backlog. I can make fun of his old catalog. But yeah, I think the days are numbered for the channel. However, Aaronis is a tricky fish, so I'm guessing he's going to strategically stay silent, then start talking again and continue the mayhem in a new format. Or so I confidently predict. Thank you for listening. Please be safe.